We're now up to 33 million Americans filing for unemployment in the last 6 weeks. At the same time, many of your Republican colleagues are saying they want to pump the brakes on more aid and they want to allow the funds you've already given out to get through the door. What do you say to that?
I say that that is so wrong. We have a huge crisis here. We haven't had as many people unemployed since the Great Depression. Stores, businesses are closing all the time. More people are being laid off. People are have trouble in every way economically. We need big, bold action. And Speaker Pelosi and I are working very closely together on putting together a very strong plan, which you will hear shortly. The people like McConnell and McCarthy and even Trump who say, let's wait and do nothing, well, they remind me of the old Herbert Hoovers. We had the Great Depression. Hoover said, just let's wait it out. It got worse and worse. We need Franklin Rooseveltian type action, and we hope to take that in the House and Senate in a very big and bold way. Look, Stephanie, after all, we put $4 trillion through the Federal Reserve and the Treasury so larger corporations could have a lending facility so those financial markets and instruments would not crash. We got to have the same focus, even a stronger focus, on the people at the working people, the average people who are suffering as well and need the same kind of big, bold, tough action. We certainly need more oversight on the corporate side, but we need action here to help average folks. We've done some in the House and Senate. We have to do a lot more.
Okay, but sir, with all due respect, before we get new money, don't we have to get CARES Act 1 straight? You spent nearly $3 trillion to date. You call the new expanded unemployment benefits unemployment on steroids. And there's millions of people in this country who are eligible for that money, and the computer systems don't even work.
Well, and we put in one of the problems here is this administration has not really executed these laws. As you know, it's Civics 1. Congress makes the laws, the administration executes them. We put $1 billion in to upgrade computer systems and to add more people to the unemployment offices. My state of New York is doing that. They're taking state workers, adding them, and the waiting time for unemployment is much lower. We've made it a lot easier that people can attest to how much they made. We've added many new people, gig workers, part-time workers, freelancers to the list. And so the states that are doing this right, it's really working well. We need more federal help to those states that aren't doing it right. And that means the administration has got to do more. The SBA administrator needs real backing and bolstering. We also need guidelines to make sure that the SBA money goes to the unbanked, the people who are not getting the help rather than the big boys. Some of that was exposed. I in fact, went on the floor yesterday with Ben Cardin and said, let's have a complete list of who's getting the loans and who's not getting the loans. Our Republican friends, who, as you said, don't want to do anything, blocked it.
But, Senator, it's the media who's exposing it, and it's Congress who set the rules. And Congress has been complaining for the last 2 weeks about the big boys taking the money they shouldn't, but they didn't take the money illegally. They took the money that they were allowed to take. Does Congress need to, A, change the rules, and then, B, force the SBA and the Treasury to make this information public? There is no rational reason why every tax ID for every business and company that took that money to not be known by the American people. That's our money.
You're 100% right, and that's what I said. We went to the floor yesterday and asked that all of it be made public. Ben Cardin and I and the Republicans blocked it. We also, in COVID 3.5, just for what you're saying, the very problems, the administration was supposed to put out guidance and say give it to the small people, not the big boys. That was part of our legislation. They didn't put out the guidance. But what we did in COVID 3.5 is wall off $125 billion that cannot go to the well-banked and has to go to the smaller businesses, the moms and pops, the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers. And that money is now beginning to flow to them because we made a correction when the administration didn't direct the first money as we had intended. We walled it off, and that's what we should have done. You're 100% right. And we're staying vigilant in doing everything we can. Originally, McConnell just wanted to give another $250 billion to be given out the same way the first tranche was given. We changed it, and now it's going to get much better.
But then in terms of real oversight that you can work on, what are you doing? What can you tell us about where money is going?
Okay, we are trying to do oversight. We asked Leader McConnell to bring in, we don't control things in the Senate, they do, but we asked him to bring in Mnuchin. We asked him to bring, about the first question you asked, where's the money going? We asked him to bring in Powell. We asked him to bring in Fauci. We asked him to bring in Birx. And this administration is refusing to let any of them testify. The House had Fauci ready to testify. The administration pulled it back. Now Meadows is saying that he is not going to let anyone come before the Congress without his okay. That is wrong. This administration, Stephanie, has hidden from the truth over and over. The president has hidden from the truth. He thinks he could have made it go away by just saying it's a hoax, or when it gets to be spring, it won't happen. And he doesn't let his people come tell the truth. You know what that does? That prolongs the crisis. Until we get a handle on how we're going to deal with the health issue, on how we're going to really deal with these deep economic issues as shown by today's numbers, we're not going to accomplish what we want to accomplish, which is getting America back to work again. The truth matters. And you cannot hide from the truth. Donald Trump is actually hurting himself when he ignores the truth, because he's prolonging the economic crisis, and that hurts him as well as hurting America and tens of millions, as you've seen the numbers, of working people.
Then why did the Senate go back to Washington this week? A pandemic should not be political. This whole country is hurting. And these oversight hearings that you're talking about, we expected, but instead the only thing I'm reading about is the president's appointees getting confirmed and judges.
You will have to ask Mitch McConnell that. As you know, Stephanie, he controls the Senate. I went on the floor of the Senate the first day we got back and said, let's do the hearings that you're talking about. No. What does he do instead? He has a crony judge friend of his, hard right, who, by the way, said he wants to repeal the ACA, take away health care from people at a time when many more people need health care. The administration backed that up yesterday, by the way, when they said they're still going to court to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. That is absurd. So we are pushing hard for oversight. And both the administration, when Trump says he's not going to let the top people testify, and Leader McConnell is stopping that from happening. We're going to keep pushing till we get it, because you're right, we need it.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.